Hey CCS families, this is Mr. Williams coming to you from the tech department. And last week, your elementary students should have received their report cards. Inside the manila envelope that went home, you should have received a traditional report card, which is pretty easy to understand. And then you also should have received some charts and graphs. So what I wanted to do is show you guys what those charts and graphs indicate, how to read them, and what they imply about your student, our students, and their progress. So let's check it out. So in front of me, I have an M-Class readout, and this is all about reading and reading fluency. So for this particular student, and this specific graph, and in fact, all of the graphs, they deal with 4 levels, really. If your child scores in the blue, that student is above benchmark. If he's in the green, he or she's in the green, that is at benchmark. Yellow is below, and then red is well below. These aren't a full picture of your student's abilities. It's just a snapshot. And what we're looking for is a nice, straight line that's going to show us progress as the year, as time passes throughout the year. So the first thing I want to show you is this one. This is the Nwf Cls Test, and I'm sure nobody knows what that means. It stands for Nonsense Word Fluency, Correct Letter Sounds. So your student is given a list of nonsense words, words that aren't real words. They have to decode these words, and your test monitor is looking for correct letter sounds. So let's take a peek at this particular student's performance. As indicated here on the very first test, this student scored in the below benchmark range, and that's not such a terrible thing. You see he bounced below, he or she bounced below and then back up and below. And then in the last, the middle of the year assessment, this student showed awesome progress, is right in the benchmark. So that's great. That's really what we're looking for. It's not uncommon for your students to score below benchmark at the beginning of the year or even well below. It's not what we want necessarily, but it's also not a bad thing. We're looking for progress. So that's number one. Oh, and by the way, this sort of pink marker thing, that is a student's individualized sort of goal, I guess you could say. So this is where we hope that your student is by the end of the year, that sort of pink marker. Let's take a look at another one. The next one is the NWF WRC, and that stands for Nonsense Word Fluency, Words Read Completely Incorrectly. Again, they're given a list of nonsense words. They need to decode them, turn the letters into sounds, the sounds into words. Same thing applies with the graph. This student started well below benchmark and has worked his or her way up into the benchmark range, which we love to see. And then this is the individualized goal for this specific student. Each student's individualized goal is different. All right, now we're going to get into this one. This is the WRF, which stands for Word Reading Fluency. Our students read individual words aloud from a word list for 1 minute. Their score is the number of words that they read with fluency. So, for example, this student on this particular date got 45 words, which is pretty good, especially relative to past performances. Now let's take a look at this guy right here. It kind of looks like a bullseye. This bullseye is the benchmark goal, whereas before, this one was the individual student's goal. This is the goal for everybody, this benchmark goal. And again, we're looking for progress over the year. So if we were to draw a line from where they began to where we hope they end, it's a nice incline. Let's take a look at one more. This is the oral reading fluency test, kind of similar to the WRF. So in the oral reading fluency, this assesses a student's ability to effortlessly translate letters to sounds and then sounds to words. Students read a passage for 1 minute and all correct words are scored. So if they are able to rattle off the words within, let's say, like 3 seconds, that word is going to be scored. So again, the student started right just on the cusp of being well below benchmark, which is not a great score. But look, if you see like right here, this student had 100%. That's amazing. So this is just a snapshot on one day. And again, if we were to draw a line, this student would be showing some really great progress. So lots of acronyms, lots of stuff to look at here. I hope that this maybe dispelled some like questions that you had. If there's a question that you still have, please respond to this post and we will get you that specific information that you need to make sense of your child's report card. They've changed a lot. And to be perfectly honest with you, we take this type of thing very seriously here at school. A lot of decisions are made based upon this data. So it's really important to us, and it's important to us that you understand it. Bye, everybody.